Welcome back. This is Live at 1. On to some international news now, and the United States and Cuba have announced plans to normalize relations after over 50 years of a diplomatic standoff that has seen successive U.S. governments maintain a crippling trade embargo against its tiny island neighbor. Reports indicate that talks between representatives of the two nations have been ongoing secretly for at least 1 year prior to the announcement by President Obama. In making the announcement, the U.S. president said decades of trying to isolate Cuba has failed and that it was time to pursue a different path. Leaders across the world have welcomed the historic development, with South American leaders who are holding a summit in Argentina interrupting a session to break the news, which was greeted with thunderous applause. President Obama has announced that he will ask the U.S. Congress to lift the trade embargo first imposed in 1960 and also advance diplomatic and travel links. Republican leaders have opposed the new policy on Cuba by Obama's administration.
Happy New Year, Merry Christmas. For you, present Cuba. Bye-bye. Oh my God.
The Neri County government has threatened to sack over 400 county workers who have been on strike for the last 5 days over pay claims amounting to 53 million shillings. The county government has also moved to court in an attempt to have the strike declared illegal. According to the county executive in charge of administration, Priscilla Wanyere, the county government will hire workers to replace those who stay away from work. The workers have, however, vowed not to return to work until they receive their due pay.
The county government of Neri has absolutely no intention to succumb to such demands.
Well, let's now move on to business. And Kenya, Tanzania and Zambia have signed a memorandum of understanding to interconnect the national power grids in a move that seeks to enhance power supply in the three countries. According to a statement issued by the Ministry of Energy and Petroleum, the deal will see the installation of a 2,302 kilometers power line that will run from Isinya in Kenya all the way to Kabwe in Zambia. The proposed power line, which will be installed in 2 phases, is scheduled for completion by December 2018 at a cost of 126.5 billion shillings. The government of Kenya has completed feasibility studies, detailed project designs, and mobilized financial resources for the construction of the Isinya-Namanga, a segment of the power interconnection line. The expected completion date of Kenya's section on the power line is December 2016. The project was first conceived in 1995 as a Zambia-Tanzania interconnection before Kenya joined the project in 2001. Well, supporters of the adoption of the genetically modified foods are calling upon opposers of the new technology to give it a chance. According to Dr. Richard Oduor, the chairman of the Kenya University Biotechnology Consortium, the doubts raised by some of the safety of GMO foods can only be put to rest if proposers and opposers of the technology come together to find a common ground. This call comes 2 years since the government imposed a ban on the importation of GMOs over safety concerns, but the government is currently undertaking confined field trials on GMO maize and cotton.
I can tell you for sure, the genetic engineering technology is the next big thing, because you can really guide, because that's where the blueprint is. They will be here with all that technology while you're still, So you should actually start thinking, why can't we make ours? And that's the line. If we don't believe in it, it's fine. But let's have that technology here. Let's have those transgenics here so that we keep them. When the conventional, the organic ones fail, then we also unleash them out there.
Well, in the currency market, the Kenya shilling opened fairly steady to the US dollar at the start of the day today to exchange at 90 shillings and 39 cents buying, 90 shillings and 56 cents selling. It has, however, strengthened slightly against the euro, according to the Central Bank of Kenya, to trade at an indicative rate of 110 shillings and 98 cents and selling it at 111 shillings and 19 cents. One sterling pound is being bought at an indicative rate of 141 shillings and 47 cents and sold at 141 shillings and 75 cents. Closer home, the local currency held steady against its regional counterparts to trade at 18 shillings and 66 cents buying and 18 shillings and 80 cents selling to the Tanzanian shilling, and 30 shillings and 64 cents buying, 30 shillings and 80 cents selling against its Ugandan counterpart. Well, listed publisher Longhorn Publishers has fully acquired Tanzania-based publishing company Dela Publishers. The acquisition deal comes a year after Longhorn bought out Dela's fundamental series of school books. The acquisition provides Longhorn with an opportunity to increase its asset base from the acquired titles in Tanzania's education publishing market. Dela currently provides books for the English medium primary school in Tanzania, having published over 21 titles for that market. This acquisition also comes hot on the heels of the acquisition of another Tanzanian publisher, Apex Publishers, in October. Apex Publishers held a 40% market share in the English medium schools market in Tanzania in civics, history and geography.
That good things come.
Moving on, Kenya National Union of Teachers Secretary General Wilson Sosion has called on teachers to prepare themselves for the planned January strike that is likely to paralyze learning in the education sector across the country. The teachers fraternity has issued a warning that they will down their tools should the government fail to meet their demands by the end of this month. The teachers union has also rejected the new allowances proposed by the Salaries and Remuneration Commission, which proposes to scrap some of the teachers' allowances.
There are two animals that are going to destroy this country. One person called the Attorney General of the Republic of Kenya, and another one called SRC by Sarah Serem. Those two are misadvising government, and I'm telling them clearly and boldly here today, and I'm asking every teacher, when it reaches that time, let us all stand together. Are we together? Yes. Nitatangaza tu mara moja na kunyamaza. Nitatangaza na kusima simu yangu and take a holiday of about a week or two, then come back to check whether it has started well.
Well, leaders from Marab County, led by Governor Ukur Yatani, held a series of meetings to preach peace among warring communities in North Horr. The four-day tour across the county was used by the leaders to broker peace between Dasanach and Gabra communities following a state of clashes that left 9 people dead and 15 injured.
Kwa hivyo wale kule Nairobi pengine ama kule Muranga ama Nyeri ambao wanaona kwamba serikali ya ugatuzi haifanyi kazi, hawa ni watu ambao kwa kweli hawajui hii Kenya ina shida ya aina gani. Hawajui kwamba Wakenya wenzao wanatembea zaidi ya kilomita 50 kutafuta maji. Hawajui kwamba Wakenya wenzao wanatembea hadi karibu kilomita 800 kwenda ile hospitali ya serikali ambayo iko karibu wapate kuhudumiwa. Kama hapa kwangu kutoka Ileret mpaka Marsabit town ambapo hospitali ya serikali iko ni karibu kilomita 600. Na hiyo ndio hospitali ambayo watu wangu walikuwa wanapata huduma tangu miaka 50 ya uhuru. Na leo tunajivunia hiyo distance badala ya kwenda kilomita 500 angalau tunaenda kilomita 200.
Well, time for sports. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Jenga.
What do you have for us?
Well, in the world of sports this afternoon, we have an update as far as the local rugby scene is concerned. There's some matches taking place over the weekend. One match is kicking off tonight, and the bad boy is at it again. The famous Liverpool player Mario Balotelli.
Yeah. And talking about rugby.
Yes.
What's going on with our team, national team, and the Wranglers?
But of course, the intrigues have been the mainstay for the national team, the 7th team, 15th team as well for the past few weeks. But there was a change of guard, and as we speak now, there's a new chairman who's in charge. So hopefully, he has his work cut out as far as salvaging the game, returning to its glory that it was famous for the past few years.
Yes. Give it to us.
Of course, coming up on Citizen Live at One Sports, an update on the Kenya Cup as well as Balotelli's intrigues, that and so much more after this. Stay tuned.